So today I started the telling of my story, which can get emotional. So if you do see me cry, you just know that it's been a tough battle. But the first blog post you saw today, or I should say, will read today, is basically when that moment happened when I realized the power of words. And it was maybe about 10 months or so after being diagnosed. And Richard and I had, which is my husband, had gone to the inauguration of Barack Obama. And I was feeling so horrible when I was there, to the point where I was sitting on the ground and I just couldn't get up. I was feeling so weak. I had a fever. But I was like, this is a once in a lifetime moment. I didn't want to miss any of it. So I pushed through that weekend. And when I got back home, I did go to the hospital, and it turned out that I had hemolytic anemia. At the hospital, my blood count, the hematocrit, was going down lower and lower, and they wanted me to have a blood transfusion, and I didn't want to have one. I was scared, and believe it or not, I didn't know really the facts of what a blood transfusion really was. I mean, I knew I was getting someone else's blood, but I didn't really have a basis for really not wanting it, but just something, when you have that feeling inside of you that just says, this is not for me. And so that was the feeling that I had. Friends, family, my pastors, other members of my church, they all came to my hospital room. It was like a revolving door, but an awesome revolving door of people that were praying for me, speaking hope into my life, encouraging me. And the doctor said, you know what? I'm going to give you until tomorrow morning. And if your blood count is not going up, we have to do the blood transfusion. And the doctor was not happy with me. I am a big advocate for myself, even though sometimes not confident in advocating, because you look to doctors as the ones that, know best. So sometimes I'm advocating for myself, but really not knowing whether what I'm saying is logical, but just going by my gut feeling and what my spirit is telling me. So the doctor said, you'll have until the morning, and then we'll have to do the blood transfusion. So, we all prayed, my pastor, myself, my friends, and everyone. And they left, and I was alone that night, and I was just talking to God and telling him what I wanted, which was not to get a blood transfusion, and which was to be healed. So the next morning came, and they tested me, and my blood count was up, and up enough where they said that I didn't need the blood transfusion. I would be able to be followed outside of the hospital by a doctor that specializes in these kind of conditions, this hemolytic anemia. And so that was the victory. That is when I realized the power of words and what words can do, what prayer can do, what having people around you that are encouraging you, that are for you can do. And so that was the birth of the word changes.